I'm here today not as a lawyer nor as a representative of GDA or MA. I'm here as a representative of Muzo, which is a UK-based company. So I've been recently appointed as the Portuguese representative, and I'm here to try to explain you a bit about where we stand regarding digital music piracy. So basically, there are a few questions I would like to get answered today, like where do we stand, where are we heading, is piracy still a reality or not, and what can be done to overcome it. So as you know, digital piracy is the practice of illegally copying and selling digital music, video, computer software. And there is one main question I decided to make to guide us through this presentation. So I will try on the next slides to let you know or answer this simple question, which is piracy obsolete? And in order to keep this as simple as possible, I would like to call this slide the BART slide, okay? Because I'm going to come back to this one sometimes during this presentation. And so basically, over time, many solutions have been created to overcome digital piracy, like the mechanism of shutting down illegal websites, but none of them was truly successful. And recently, we've been seeing a new breath of fresh air, which were these three streaming, for example, these three streaming websites, Spotify and Music, and Apple Music in respect to music, and Netflix in respect to TV and movies. So when you look at these three examples, I think everyone is probably thinking, well, we've been able to overcome piracy problem, and consequently this piracy has been declining and is no longer a threat to right holders. Well, I will let you answer this question by yourselves at the end of this presentation, okay? So first, let's try to go a bit back and take a look at the evolution of music piracy. Well, it all started back at the end of the 90s with what I can call phase one, with peer-to-peer and torrents. Well, basically, I don't know if everyone knows what peer-to-peer means. Basically, the files are stored in the computers of each user, and they are shared between them. So here we have two examples of peer-to-peer and torrents. First, Napster, some decades ago, and now Pirate Bay, more recently. Then phase two, we have downloads and cyberlockers. Cyberlockers are different from peer-to-peer because basically they are third-party online service that provide file storing and file sharing. So unlike peer-to-peer, here we have a central system that keeps the files, and then they can be downloaded by the users, okay? Then we went to a third phase, which is the user-generated content, of which YouTube is the biggest example, and what we call the stream reaping websites. So basically, stream reaping are those sites that allow you to go to YouTube and copy a link and insert that link in those websites, and then you just press a little button there that says download, and you basically download. It transforms a video file into an MP3, which can be stored in your computer. And so this is a more recent type of illegal content made available to the public. I will speak a bit more about this during this presentation. Then we have the final phase, which is streaming, which is basically mirroring the other platforms I spoke about, basically having illegal streaming platforms providing music to users. Now, let me get you a bit of data regarding the global piracy audience, okay? So here, as you can see, Muzo collected all the relevant data in 2017, and you can see there's been more than 300 billion visits to piracy sites in 2017, which is a 1.6 increase from last year. So even though we've been seeing solutions being created to overcome piracy. And the truth is, it still exists and has been growing. So a bit more insight on this data. We have the 300 million. There are here two relevant informations I would like you to notice, which is the growth of streaming sites that now covers more than 58% of the total piracy demand, and also the growth of mobile devices, which nowadays are more used to visit sites than the computers. Yeah, sorry.
So when you say 37% of piracy tracking
Yeah.
via search engines, what the piracy traffic? Okay, so people going through.
No, basically search engines here means that let's say you want to go and find the latest episode of Game of Thrones. Instead of going directly to the website, you go to Google and you type torrent Game of Thrones last episode. Okay? That's the difference here, basically. So here is a breakdown of the breakdown of the 300 billion. So we have on top, first place goes to TV with more than 100 billion visits, then music with almost 74, and then film with 53 billion visits last year. Okay, this is basically a little graphic confirming what I just said regarding mobile devices. We have 80% of visits to music sites were made through mobile devices. This is a bit new because in last years most of the visits were made through a computer, but now this has been evolving and people are using more mobile devices to get to the piracy websites. So now, since we are at Westway LAB Festival, which is basically a music festival, I would like to provide you a bit of the same information but focused on music, okay? So this slide is basically the main answer to the BART slide, okay? When I ask is piracy obsolete, this is basically, this slide summarizes what I'm going to present to you next, and it also summarizes the answer to the BART slide. So it's still a major problem for the music industry, and it affects all labels and all artists, big and small. So here's the data for, in respect to music, okay? We have almost 74 million visits to music piracy sites, which is an increase of 17%. And in respect to this specific topic, let me tell you that when I spoke about stream ripping, in September, I think, last year, the main website, which is youtube.mp3.org, was shut down, and so we had a decrease of around 30% visits to stream ripping websites. And even though we had this huge decrease in the last quarter, we still have an total increase of 17%. So this also answers the BART slide again. We have here a breakdown confirming the mobile device, 80%, and confirming that the leading sites being visited are streaming websites. Here's a summary again. So we have streaming websites, first place with a total of 30 million. Then we have web download, stream rippers, and then Susanna, as you can see on the bottom right side, you have the traffic source where you can see search. Okay, search, you have 56% done through that search type you just asked me about. You have direct access to the websites, it's 30%. Actually, I would like to do a little exercise with you, a hypothetical one. If we go to the web streaming visits, and we have, as you see, a total of 30 billion. If, let's say, each time a person visits one of these websites, it basically plays on average 10 times the music they want to hear, this would mean that we have a total loss of licensed streams of 300 billion worldwide. And the same idea can be done through stream reapers. So basically you have 15 million, right? Let's say each time a user goes to a stream reaping website, it downloads 3 tracks. And if that person downloads 3 tracks, it's because they want to listen specifically to those tracks, sorry. So if they've done it, that means that we had a total of 45 billion musics downloaded. And if, let's say, each guy listens to each one of those songs 10 times, it would mean that we would have a total of 450 billion unlicensed streams worldwide, hypothetically, okay? So 3 ideas to be kept in mind. Digital music piracy is growing at a high pace. Mobile device is overtaking desktop, and web streaming is the most popular and growing as well. I would just like to give you some examples on a title level. Here you have, for example, the latest album from Ed Sheeran. So in 2017, the total piracy tracked was almost 10 million. We have Italy in first place in consumption, then Philippines, and then the United States. The same with the latest album from Kanye West with almost 10 million. Here we have the United States first place with piracy consumption. Okay, then the same information regarding a song. Let's see Ed Sheeran's Shape of You with a limited time frame between January 1st and February 5th. So we have a total of 2 million of piracy consumption. And here you can see that Argentina was the top country, with the United States and Venezuela just behind. This was only for a month. And now Portugal. Let's see what happens here, okay? Maybe we are the exception. Are we?
No.
Well, apparently not. This is global piracy, okay, not music. So we have a total of 1 billion visits to all piracy websites in 2017. And we have the same idea as the global one, which is web streaming ahead, along and just behind web download, public torrent, and stream reaping. Please bear in mind this percentage of stream reaping, as I will come back to this one shortly, okay? So this can give you an idea of the growth between January and December. So we have above 3 million visits per day to piracy sites. We had in January 107 million, and then in December 116 million visits from Portugal. And here is the data specifically regarding music. So we have a total of 267 million visits, with stream reaping coming in as the most popular, even though we had the main website closed in the third quarter, which meant a global decrease of 33%. So basically here we saw that stream reaping was just 8% of global, but probably these 8% are all in music. And now, what can we do to overcome this? So Muzo, basically what we do is we provide the most accurate and complete statistics on piracy activity. We are the world's leading anti-piracy platform. So what we do is empower content owners to protect their work and make use of consumption data. We monitor over 18 million piracy pages daily. So we collect data from billions of infringements every day. we uncover the full extent of digital piracy, we protect the content of right holders more effectively, and we connect with audiences to unlock new revenue potential. So these actions I've just told you about can be summarized in 3 products that Muzo offers. So we have Muzo Discover, that basically follows and analyzes macro and micro trends across territories and titles. So basically, this is like the Portuguese example I gave you, where I gave you all the relevant data regarding Portugal. This is something that Muzo can provide. It can provide reports on countries, on albums, on songs. Then we have Muzo Protect, that basically what you do is, let's say you're an artist and you want to get your songs monitored. You subscribe Muzo services, you provide Muzo with your albums or your songs, the titles you want to see monitored, and basically Muzo will monitor them and take down all the songs that are being offered in unlicensed platforms. Finally, we have Muzo Connect, that basically enables the right holders to identify high intent audiences who are trying to access their content illegally and redirect them to licensed channels. Basically, this can also be a tool for, let's say, labels to try and understand the full picture of how well known are their artists, because taking into consideration all the data I gave you, the 300 billion piracy visits, annual visits, you will not be able, as a label, to fully understand how successful an artist is being. You can have the information regarding the legal platforms, but you will not have the full picture, and for that you need to take into consideration the unlicensed ones, and then try to adapt probably your marketing approach in line with this information you can get from us. Finally, is there someone from an associate from MA here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So recently, Muzo has signed a master protocol with WIN, applicable to all trade body members, and so thus applicable to MA members as well, and that it provides specific conditions for MA members. So basically, usually when you want to subscribe, let's say Muzo Protect, which is the one that carries out the analysis of your songs and takes them down, before you agree to pay Muzo a fee for them to basically take down your music, you can go there and try it with one song, let's say, if you're an artist. So you go there, you insert your data on Muzo, and they tell you to insert one song so that you can see where it's being made available in those illegal platforms. In this protocol, you can insert all the songs you want. So you can insert all your albums there and understand where they're being made available. And then after that, if you find that interesting enough, you can then ask Muzo to act, and then you have to pay Muzo, but you will have some special conditions and some discounts on the usual rates that are available in the Muzo website. So if you subscribe, you'll get the digital content protection, continuously scanning the web 24/7 in those 18 billion websites, automatic takedowns, and then when the takedowns are done, you'll get a dashboard view of removals. Muzo exists. It has 9 years of existence, and so it has been building a huge data that it has been collecting for those 9 years. And so basically, if your data is not there, which probably it isn't, it has been scanning. Well, as you saw, it has 8 million scans daily. I actually don't know yet how the system works, I've joined Muzo very recently, but I can answer to you that. Muzo has a system that redirects people to the legal platforms. Okay, so probably they will listen anyway, but legally. If you subscribe, you have two steps here. Let's only speak about the MA protocol. Okay, so you go there, you have a link, you go to the platform, you insert your data. You insert all the files you want to be monitored, and then it will get you a report with information where they're being stored illegally. Actually, I don't know if you'll get access to the countries or the cities in this specific protocol, or if since there are three different products, I think that would be more in line with the last one. Yeah, exactly, and not Muzo Protect. Okay. With this one, Muzo Connect.
It is possible. The possibility exists.
Yes, of course. Yes, you can get that info. Yes. What country? Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the money? How it costs?
How much?
Yeah. The three programs.
I had that information, but João, drop me an email. It's easier.
Yeah.
I know that you can do it by track, you can do it by album, and you can do it by artist. Okay. So if you, it's like $7 by. Is it pounds? I don't know.
Maybe.
No, I don't know if it's pounds or if it's euros, but it's like 7 per song, and then it goes up if it's by album, and then even more if it's by artist. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually with labels, they negotiate directly. Muzo, it's not the standardized prices that are on the website. Yeah, there is the DMCA system in place, right? Everyone can use it. And the thing is, there are so many websites out there that it's a bit hard to get everywhere, right? Even probably even Muzo doesn't have the whole list of websites identified, right? They are probably growing every day.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Minutos.